Hey everyone, so this is going to be a divination reading using a deck of regular playing cards. I'm going to be using my Gypsy Witch fortune telling cards and kind of integrating that with the traditional playing card fortune telling method. And then I'm also going to be using the book War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. And you're going to have 3 decks or 3 piles to choose from. And the 3 cards I chose for the imagery for you to choose from is from the Hermetic Tarot deck, which has very interesting artwork on it. Speaking of artwork, the artwork you see in this right in front of you is actually my original artwork back from high school. And I don't know, I just love it. I thought maybe somebody might enjoy it. It has a lot of layers, like Shrek, the onions. Got my inspiration is kind of like the premise behind it, or the workings, the inner workings to it. Just a little hint is like from the movie Saw, with how things work together to prevent something catastrophic from happening. And every flower that you see has a deep meaning to it. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this reading. And gonna show the piles, and then I'm gonna list the timestamps below. So just pick a pile that you're drawn to, and then look in the description for the timestamp, and go from there. See you at your pile. Okay, so we have for pile 1 the 2 of Cups. For pile 2 we have the Moon. And for pile 3, we have the Magician. So I'd like you to just take a few moments and sit on that and look at the imagery in each card. And whichever one you feel drawn to, that's your pile. And as I just said, timestamps will be listed below. Hello, pile 1. So for those of you who chose the 2 of Cups pile, this card represents essentially a partnership of love. As you see at the top, there is the sign for Venus and the sign for Cancer. Venus symbolizes partnerships, love. Cancer is usually family, your home space. So these 2 aspects coming together. The description in the book says a hand at the lower part of the card holds in its palm an open lotus. Near the top of the card, another lotus sprouts 2 gushing streams of water, which drops into 2 cups and then in turn overflow. 2 dolphins swim between the sprays of water. At the upper and lower left and right appear the symbols for Venus and Cancer respectively. Venus in Cancer, 1 degree to 10 degree. Herein rule the angels, Ioel and Shabua. And the meanings are harmony, pleasure, mirth, love, friendship, and passion. Okay, it's interesting that there's the lotus flower in this picture, because as you can see in the picture I drew behind, there's the lotus flower in the left-hand corner. So I definitely would look up the meaning of the lotus flower if you're interested in learning more about it. From what I've researched and what my intention with drawing the lotus flower in my piece of artwork here was rising up from the murky depths of desolation, so to speak, rising above purgatory, rising above the darkness, and sprouting forth this very beautiful and interesting, and I would say the lotus flower is a strong flower. It's full, and it has the shapes of the leaves kind of resemble like a sword. So it's strong, and it all right, so I got interrupted there for a minute. I have a house full of little chillins, so that's bound to happen. Anyway, so yeah, the size and shape, or whatever, the shape more so. I mean, they're all usually uniform kind of shape, or size, I mean, for the lotus flower is definitely like reminds me of a sword. Which, interesting, I have a little Lego sword sticking up right here when my kids made some weird creation. A Lego sword and a gun attached to some stuff. All right. So yeah, so that's the beginning of this reading. Next, I'm going to draw from the pile. So we got here we're going to move this to the back. And by the way, this card is called the Lord of Love, which I love about this deck of cards is that at the bottom of, it's based off the traditional tarot deck, but at the bottom of each card, it has the name, like a specific name that rules the card. And this one's the Lord of Love. So I'm going to take it as this reading is based on love. All right, so the first card we got is the Eight of Spades. Second card is the Ten of Spades. I'm going to put these a little closer together because I drew 7 cards for each pile. So third card, 4 of Diamonds. Fourth card, 3 of Clubs. Fifth card, Queen of Hearts. Third card, oh my gosh, 6th card, 3 of Spades. And the 7th card is the 3 of Hearts. Okay, let me spread it out a little bit. All right. So all right, so I'm going to read what the gypsy part says on it first, and then I'm going to go into the traditional playing card interpretations. And then I'm going to do like a little intuitive channeling kind of feel for it. So this card says, the mountains nearby indicate the presence of a mighty enemy. Ooh, okay. Next card, the rod nearby predicts family quarrels, distant pecuniary losses. Okay. The dog, if near, represents true friends. If distant and surrounded by clouds, beware of unsuspecting enemies. So we got a thing about enemies twice. So I'm thinking there's going to some indication that you got enemies surrounding you, and that could be preventing you from finding love or being in love because you got people working against you. All right. So I gotta keep these in order. I'm gonna get lost here. All right, next card, the tree. Good health, near flowers, fulfillment of highest hopes. Okay, we're not really near any flowers here. Although, we got flowers here, so actually, okay. So, we're looking up there. We're looking up, because we are near flowers, actually. Queen of Hearts. The ring, when to the right of a person, is an unerring indication of rich and happy marriage, but lying to the left, disappointment and love. Okay. So, if you're a male, I'm going to say that this is an indication that you're going to have a good relationship. If you're a female, it's the opposite. Because I'm assuming of the enemies. Basically, because I'm going by the picture here. You got the female and the male eye. Alright, the pig, whether near or far, is an is an omen of phenomenal luck and great abundance, high honors, and all ambition attained. Okay. So you got good luck there. And the sun near signifies happiness and popularity. Near snakes, mice, and dark side of clouds presages vexation. So, we're not near any snakes or mice. We got a pig. So I think we're good. All right. And sun usually indicates Leo, the sign of Leo. So if you're a Leo, this reading's definitely for you, my friend. All right. So we're going to go a little deeper into this with the traditional meanings. And yeah. All right. So starting with the Eight of Spades, this person is considered a scapegoat by others, or is used as a scapegoat by others. The Eight of Spades is called the scapegoat card. I'm going to read a little from my book because I feel like it has a very good explanation. A scapegoat in our day is someone who is getting blamed by others for things they didn't do, weren't involved in, or may not even have any solid knowledge concerning these matters. They were more or less chosen at random as the fall guy or gal by a group of others much guiltier than themselves. And the meaning behind this totally intertwines with all the gypsy meanings that I read just before. Every single card here is basically indicating the Queen of Hearts is the person that the reading's about, and there's somebody that is considered a pure soul, somebody that is actually worthy of esteem and shouldn't be getting blamed for anything. They're trustworthy, nurturing, kind, loving. They're a great friend. They're a wonderful lover. But they're surrounded by people enemies, I would say, trying to blame them for things that they did not do. And basically trying to prevent them from what this reading, I believe, is about, which is love. So jealousy, envy, all of that. Okay. The next card, the Ten of Spades, is called the Earthquake card, and it represents a sudden change. Usually it's indicative that there is a conflict going on, and the Queen of Hearts person could be undergoing nightmares and just having a really rough time dealing with these issues. Okay, so that's Spirit's acknowledgement that this is going on. Alright, so interruption 501. Sorry, guys. So the next card, Four of Diamonds, is called the Cornerstone card, and that's just a verification that whoever this reading is about is considered a wonderful person and not worthy to be deemed a scapegoat in any manner. And it's just confirmation of that. So I'm going to read a little bit from my book about this card because it's very interesting. So this says, the symbol of the Four of Diamonds is the cornerstone. Historically, the cornerstone was the first stone set when building any brick or stone structure. After laying the cornerstone, the builders would then build around and on top of this stone so that everything following after was based on this first stone. This is likewise an important concept in the Jewish and Christian Old Testament writings. Psalm 118:22. The stone the builders rejected has become the chief cornerstone. This passage is commonly interpreted as prophetically stating that Jesus Christ is the cornerstone and that the world has rejected his teaching as the foundation of worldly affairs. Those who follow him, however, build their lives upon the foundation he built. The Four of Diamonds, therefore, represents the physical things around which we build our lives in this world. So, I take it, though, as this person is whoever chose this pile is the cornerstone to good things in this world. And the people around them are using them as a scapegoat because they're jealous. They're envious of their beauty and their power, their sun, their ability to shine that sunlight. Okay? Now, the next part of this reading, as you can see, the Queen of Hearts is surrounded by threes, which the three represents the Holy Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, right? And for there to be 3 threes indicates that there is powerful spirits around. And the 3 of clubs specifically represents like gossip. It's called the 3 Blackbirds. I don't know if you've ever heard that poem. The poem, it's like 3 blackbirds baked into a pie, something like that. I don't know. You could look it up. It'll probably intrigue you. Anyway, so basically saying that there's people gossiping about this person, okay? And then we got the 3 of Spades next to them. 3 of Spades is the scourge. And the scourge doesn't strike just once. It strikes again and again and again, which I think is also kind of like why there's 3 threes, right? And it causes pain to this person, which is probably why they're having nightmares. And it says, the scourge may appear in a reading as a conflict flaring up or unresolved, a heartbreak, or someone interfering between 2 others. The scourge may represent the odd man out. 3 is a crowd, a love triangle, others working against you, or people talking behind your back. The scourge may represent a disease, infestation, or chronic illness. Spiritually, the scourge may represent the activities of witchcraft, demons, curses, and addictions. So, you got somebody working against you or a group of people working against you, and you need to be aware of this. All right. Now, you got the 3 of Hearts, which is the Roses card. And roses are an unexpected surprise. Roses symbolize love and passion. This gift is given with a pure heart. Roses represent a gift, surprise, pregnancy, bearing the fruit of your labors, literal flowers, an attractive female, Mary, the mother of Jesus, who comes preceded by the sweet scent of roses, the presence of God's angels, the Holy Spirit, and the color red. All right. And then when we got 3 threes, it usually indicates a change. And it says a burgeoning initiative in the areas presented by the suits appearing. Diamonds are money and communication. Spades are conflict. Clubs represent activity. Hearts represent desire. So we got desire, we got activity, and we got conflict. So this person is desiring this love, but there's a lot of conflicting activity going on around them. So my best suggestion for you is to take a look around and see who's in your court. because you got a lot of, I don't like to use the word snakes because I'm a snake by the Chinese zodiac, and I personally love snakes. But you got a lot of people that are not for you. They're not rooting for you. They're rooting against you, and they're trying their very hardest to make it so that you are not in this Venus Cancer energy of the Two of Cups. And just take that into consideration. Look around you. Really realize, like, who truly wants what's best for you and isn't just envious of you, because you are a beautiful soul, clearly. And you're worthy of that Two of Cups, Lord of Love. Okay? So, for the next part of the reading, or the last part of the reading, I'm gonna roll the dice a couple times, and it's gonna tell me what page number to read from my Leo Tolstoy War and Peace book, and it's gonna provide some insight on this whole situation. Alright, so because this book goes into the hundreds, the first roll of dice determines which set of hundreds, or which set of numbers, meaning ones, tens, or hundreds, do we read from. So we got a 3, so that means we're reading from the hundreds. Or actually, this book goes into the thousands. Sorry. Alright. So, regardless, we got a 3, so it's in the hundreds. Okay. The next, so the next couple rolls is going to be, I'm going to roll 3 times for the specific page number. So we got a 5. Can't see the die, sorry guys. We got a 4. And we got another 5. So 5, 4, 5. Page 545. Alright. Wow, okay, this is like dead on, guys. I can't make this stuff up. Look at the first sentence. Can you see that? Hopefully y'all can see that. The first sentence, but I know you want to avoid any pretext for our being blamed. And that goes right to it, the scapegoat thing, right? Wow, okay. The old count sometimes came up to Prince Andrei, kissed him, and asked his advice about some question relating to Petya's education or Nikolai's position. The old countess sighed as she looked at them. Sonia was afraid every instant of being in their way, and was always trying to find excuses for leaving them alone, even when they had no wish to be alone. When Prince Andrei talked, he described things very well. Natasha listened to him with pride. When she talked, she noticed with joy and dread that he watched her with an intent and scrutinizing look. She asked herself in perplexity, what is it he seeks in me? What is it he is probing for with that look? What if I haven't in me what he is searching for in that look? Sometimes she fell into the mood of wild gaiety characteristic of her, and then she particularly loved to see and hear how Prince Andrei laughed. He rarely laughed, but when he did laugh, he abandoned himself utterly to his mirth, and she always felt herself drawn closer to him by this laughter. Natasha would have been perfectly happy if the thought of the separation before her, coming closer and closer, had not terrified her. He too turned pale and cold at the mere thought of it. On the day before he was to leave Petersburg, Prince Andrei brought with him Pierre, who had not been at the Rostovs since the day of the ball. Pierre seemed absent-minded and embarrassed. He talked chiefly to the Countess. Natasha was sitting at the chessboard with Sonia, and invited Prince Andrei to join them. He went to them. You have known Bezuhov a long while, haven't you?" he asked. "Do you like him?" "Yes, he's very nice, but very absurd." And she began, as people always did when speaking of Pierre, to tell anecdotes of his absent-mindedness, anecdotes which were made up indeed about him. There you go, making up stuff about people. "You know, I've confided our secret to him," said Prince Andrei. "I have known him from childhood. He has a heart of gold." There you go, with the Queen of Hearts, the heart of gold, and the Three of Hearts. "I beg you, Natalie," he said with sudden seriousness, "I am going away. God knows what may happen. You may change." "Oh, I know I ought not to speak of that. Only one thing. If anything were to happen to you while I am away." "What would happen?" "If any trouble were to come," pursued Prince Andrei, "I beg you, Mademoiselle Sophie, if anything were to happen, to go to him, and no one else, for advice and help. He is a most absent-minded and eccentric person, but he has the truest heart." There you go. That is serious confirmation of this. Everything I said. You are a beautiful soul, and people may gossip about you and talk smack about you, but you have the capability of attaining that true love. So don't let these naysayers and gossipers bring you down and black sheep your ass, because you deserve the world. Alright, pile 2, I hope that helped you and that this reading resonated with you. And I hope to see you for the next reading. Goodbye. Or toodaloo. So we'd be in old school with our Leo Tolstoy book, right? Alright. Love and Light, pile 1. Did I say pile 2 before? I'm sorry if I did. I'm so confusing with these things. But, I know a lot of, spiritual people out there have an issue with saying love and light and namaste, but I actually believe in those things, and I'm wishing you all the love and all the light in the world. Alright, so on to pile 2. Alright, hello pile 2, for those of you that chose the moon, which is referred to in the Hermetic Tarot deck as the ruler of flux and reflux. Okay, and I'm going to read from the little pamphlet that's in this deck, just to give you a little background on this card specifically. The sign of Pisces at the upper portion of the card is shown by the new full moon. Emanating from the moon are 16 principal and 16 secondary rays, totaling 32, the number of paths of the Sefer Yetzirah. 4 golden yads fall like drops of water from the moon, showing its power over the flux of the world. The 2 towers represent the gateway of resurrection. The towers are guarded by dogs, the jackals of the Egyptian psychopomp Anubis, witness to disruption and anxiety. The dark waters of night appear below, cast in turmoil by the compelling influence of the moon, suggesting the dark paths of toil and effort. At the center of the card, the winged scarab follows the path of all heavenly bodies, rising in the east and setting in the west. He carries the solar disk in front and behind. Meanings: deception, error, falsity, dissatisfaction, change. Okay, so my interpretation of this card is that there are several options for the inquirer of this pile, to several paths to quest upon, and the gods, the powers that be, God, whatever you believe in, higher power, angels, what have you, are heavily intertwined in these paths, and you have a choice before you for either going on the paths that are going to lead you to destruction, or the paths that are going to resurrect you from this dismal and dark, toiling, as the book says, the toiling of efforts that you have pressed upon the world, right? All right, so I'm gonna lay out the I will put this behind. I'm gonna lay out the cards that were chosen for your pile. So we got the 2 of clubs, the 4 of clubs, the 6 of hearts, the Jack of spades, the 3 of diamonds, the Joker, the black Joker, or the blue Joker, depending on what kind of playing card deck you have, and the 10 of diamonds. All right, so I'm going to read the gypsy little blurb that's on there, and then I'm going to go into the traditional method, and we'll relate them, and then I'll do my own little intuitive spin on it. So, 2 of clubs. The railroad forecasts a long journey. If near 44, a serious accident. If near 29, a robbery. So, we're near 4, but not 44. Okay. And we're not near 29, so I think you're okay. Alright. Next card is the key nearby is a certain augury of success, but if surrounded by unlucky cards, the prognostication is illness. Okay. So, just like the moon card that I first talked about, you have options ahead of you, pathways to choose from. And the railroad forecasts a long journey. So you have a long journey ahead of you, and you have choices, okay? And the main prognostication is actually going to be that you're going to succeed. All right, so for 6 of hearts, the house denotes success in all ventures. There you go. That's another confirmation that you're going to succeed in your endeavors. If present condition is unpleasant, the future will be happy and prosperous. Also predicts marriage. All right. Next card, Jack of spades. The shepherd indicates an intense love of life and strong fellow feeling. All right. So you got somebody in your court that is on your side, is what I'm getting from that. 3 of diamonds. The money safe indicates riches. If shut side is toward the person, it denotes loss by speculation. Okay, so if you're a female, it's saying that your money situation isn't going to be so great, because we're going by my picture my artwork here. Females on the right side, males on the left side. If you're a male, you're going to be all good. All right, and then we got the Joker, which in the Gypsy Tarot deck, you're not really supposed to use it except for a yes or no question. And so, 10 of diamonds. The scythe presages disappointment, and when near the coffin, early death. Okay. Alright, so that's not that great, but we're not near the coffin, so I think you'll be okay. But you might be disappointed with something if you choose the wrong path, I'm gathering here. Okay? Alright, so let's get these and a little more orderly fashion. All right. So to start off with, we got the Two of Clubs. All right. All right. So my overall interpretation of this reading is that you are involved in a partnership with somebody and it feels like you're trapped and that you want out. The Two of Clubs is the card called the Handcuffs card. So you feel like you're trapped, okay? But their luck is in your court. You got the Four of Clubs, which is the four-leaf clover, which is the card of luck, okay? Six of Hearts is the karmic relationship card. So this relationship that you feel stuck in is karmically inherited. It is something that from past lives you have come upon into this life. You signed a contract before you came here with this person and you're meant to achieve some type of goal together, okay? Jack of Spades is the Devil card. So this person comes off as a very evil person. They're malicious. You feel like you're trapped with this person. Three of Diamonds is the card of, it's called the Trinity card. Threes in the playing cards represent the Holy Trinity, but this one is like really represents it, and basically saying that when you come together with this person, you'll be able to achieve a higher goal that is on a spiritual level, that like the universe and all the powers that be are watching, and they're working with you towards achieving this goal. The Joker, the Black Joker or the Blue Joker, depending, this is the Black Joker, but it's also called the Blue Joker, is the karmic shift card. So it represents karma, fate, a major shift in perspective, major life change, big opportunity. And the Ten of Diamonds is the inheritance card, okay? So inheritance represents success, financial security, legacy, privilege, a well-earned reward after a long and difficult journey. So there we go back to the Two of Clubs with a long journey ahead of you, right? And this is saying that you have luck in your court and that there is going to be success in this journey if you hold out. This person is very difficult to deal with. It may be, somebody that your own child. It could be your husband, your wife, even just your best friend, and somebody that you have had a long relationship with in your life, and you feel trapped because they are exhibiting all of these qualities and attributes that are indicative of what we refer to as the devil. But if you are able to realize that you guys work together beautifully because you balance each other out and you have luck on your side, you got the four-leaf clover and you have luck right here at the Ten of Diamonds, and this is karmic. You have a karmic relationship with this person. Okay. So the six, like I said, the Six of Hearts and the Joker are both karmic cards. So it says here for Six of Hearts, karmic relationships may include husbands, wives, children, lovers, parents, uncles, aunts, cousins, grandparents, military buddies, work associates, bosses, employees, friends, teachers, life, close connections, and pets. It may also represent a soulmate, twin flame, lover, or spouse, or someone returning from the past after a long absence. The karmic relationship card represents memories, nostalgia, the good old days, childhood, schmaltz, old friends, past friends, coming to terms with the past, acceptance, and forgiveness. Okay, so this could even just be on a level where it's with yourself, forgiving yourself, stop demonizing yourself, and realize that, yeah, you may have done things that people deem or that are deemed as evil, but you have luck on your side. And whether it be yourself that's representative of the Jack of Spades or somebody else, which I'm believing from the two clubs that it's a partnership involved. But it could be you too that's representing of the devil, right? This dark and light, yin and yang energy here is going to bring success. As long as you guys realize that when you work together, magic happens. Success happens. You're going to get this inheritance. Okay? It's going to be unexpected. And it's going to take a long time to arrive. Again, with the long journey with the Two of Clubs. But is not easily lost. This is going to be a journey that was hard and difficult, but it is going to be worth it, okay? And inheritance in a reading represents success, financial security, legacy, privilege, retirement, a well-earned reward after a long and difficult journey, completion, family support, accomplishment, and wealth. So basically, you have a very good outlook with this person, and things may seem dire and dim and terrible, but if you keep on this path where you are looking forward and you realize that what the good qualities are in this person, what they bring to the table, whether this Jack of Spades be you or the other person, what they bring to the table is very valuable. And what the other person, the other half, brings to the table is very valuable. When you guys come together, you're going to attain this completion of success and victory. Okay? And there could be, like, with the gypsy interpretation of this card, and also the traditional meaning with inheritance, usually there's a death that happens and you inherit something. So that can mean in a literal sense, like you inherit a business, a family business, because a relative passes away, or you inherit a family wealth or whatever, and then you guys make a business that like really just succeeds so well from that money. Or it could mean that you inherit a legacy. You inherit a legacy from the culmination of both the light and dark aspects of your personality that are so prominent with you and this person. And you're able to make such a segue into society, I can't think of the word, you're able to bring this whole, basically being at the top of the game in any sector that could provide financial success or success of any measure. And you and this person, you feel like you're in handcuffs, but this person in you, it's like Bonnie and Clyde. That's probably not a great example. I don't know what's like. It's like an angel and the devil, all right? I don't know any pop culture references off the top of my head that would relate to that, but leave a comment below if you think of something. I'd definitely be interested to hear. But Yeah, this is a karmic relationship. You got karma double, okay? This was preordained, predestined by God, okay? And this relationship is a hard one, but it is gonna be worth it. All right. So I'm going to roll the dice for the last part of this reading, and it's going to tell me what set of page numbers to read from for the book War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy, which will relate directly to this. All right, so we got a 5, which the book only goes up to thousands, so we're going to do... It has to be between 1 and 4 to tell me if it's 1, tens, hundreds, thousands. We're going to wait. Okay, we got a 3. So it's going to be in the hundreds. Then we're going to roll 3 more times for the exact page number. So we got a 4. We got a 2. And we got a 3. So 4, 2, 3. Okay. All right. So I'm going to read this page, and I'm going to relate it to the reading. So it starts off with the word voice, okay? The end of a sentence from the prior page. But some among them, the head steward, divined from his speech how to deal with their master for the attainment of their own ends. The head steward expressed great sympathy with Pierre's projects, but observed that apart from these innovations, matters were in a bad way and needed thoroughly going into. In spite of Count Bezuhoff's enormous wealth, Pierre, ever since he had inherited it... Oh my God, I can't make this stuff up. The same thing with the other reading. We're talking about inheritance. It literally says, inherited it. You gotta be kidding me. I love this. This is so beautiful. Can you see that? Where is it? I'm trying to look for it on the page. Pierre had inherited it. Look at that. Okay. In spite of Count Bezuhoff's enormous wealth, Pierre, ever since he had inherited it and had been, as people said, in receipt of an annual income of 500,000, had felt much less rich than when he had been receiving an allowance of 10,000 from his father. In general outlines, he was vaguely aware of the following budget. About 80,000 was being paid into the land bank as interest on mortgages of his estates. About 30,000 went to the maintenance of his estate in the suburbs of Moscow, his Moscow house, and his cousins, the princesses. About 15,000 were given in pensions, and as much more to benevolent institutions. 150,000 were sent to his countess for her maintenance. Some 70,000 were paid away as interest on debts. The building of a new church had, for the last 2 years, been costing about 10,000. The remainder, some 100,000, was spent, he hardly knew how, and almost every year he was forced to borrow. Moreover, every year the head steward wrote to him of conflagrations or failures of crops or of the necessity of rebuilding factories or workshops. And so, the first duty with which Pierre was confronted was the one for which he had the least capacity and inclination: attention to practical business. Well, kind of, right? Business. Every day, Pierre went into things with the head steward, but he felt that what he was doing did not advance matters 1 inch. He felt that all he did was quite apart from the reality, that his efforts had no grip on the business and would not set it in progress. On one side, the head steward put matters in their worst light, proving to Pierre the necessity of paying his debts and entering upon new undertakings with the labor of his serf peasants, to which Pierre would not agree. On the other side, Pierre urged their entering upon the work of liberation, to which the head steward objected the necessity of first paying off the loans from the land bank and the consequent impossibility of haste in the matter. The head steward did not say that this was utterly impossible. He proposed, as the means for attaining this object, the sale of the forest and the Kostroma province, the sale of the lands on the lower Volga, and of the Crimean estate. But all of these operations were connected in the head of the steward's talk with such a complexity of processes, the removal of certain prohibitory clauses, the obtaining of certain permissions, and so on, that Pierre lost the thread and could only say, yes, yes, do so then. Okay, so my take on this is that you are feeling very hesitant on this partnership. You are seeing you're adding up all these dollars and decimals and seeing these losses, and you're getting advice from people that may not 100% benefit. Because it's basically making you, it's not allowing you to receive those riches from this inheritance. It's not allowing you to enjoy this inheritance, right? Because you're not working with the proper partnership. The steward in this story, right, is telling this person what to do and how to do it and whatnot, and they're not reaping the rewards. They're not seeing any benefit. They're not enjoying it at all. But if you were to work with this person that everyone else, or that like logically is telling you like this is not the right way to go, or the pathway that like people are telling you, or like, you know, the popular vote's telling you like this is not the right way to go, you will reap the rewards. You will see that benefit. It may seem dark and dismal and like you're trapped, but as long as you look towards this companionship with this proper partner that you may not think has the answers, but yes, they do. When you guys combine your minds together, you can reap those rewards and you will see that benefit because y'all are karmically linked and you will see great success. You got that 4 of clubs. You got luck behind you. You have the karmic relationship. You have the Holy Trinity behind you, okay? You have God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost behind you. And as long as you realize this, everything will be fantastic. The journey is going to be long and hard, but you will reap those rewards as long as you keep your focus in the right direction. As long as you don't let all these people tell you, or any specific person tell you and like micromanage you, okay? You need to be working as a team with whoever this Jack of Spades represents, whether that be you or the other person, and then like, you know, the other person or yourself is the opposite of that. So dark and light, right? As long as you're I don't want to say butting heads, but combining your perceptions together and figuring out this solution together, combining your ideas together, you will achieve that success. Okay? You will reap those rewards. Just don't let people micromanage you, and don't, you know, stray away from that karmic relationship. That karmic relationship may seem like it's the most awful thing in the world, and like it's just so bad, and like you just feel like you're in handcuffs, you don't want to be there, you feel like you're trapped, you feel like there's no way out. But that person, that companionship, that partnership is the way out. That is the light. That is the way for you. Okay? And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope these messages resonated with you, Pile 2, and that's all I got for you. So love and light to you all, and as I said in pile 1, I know there's a lot of people that are against that whole love and light namaste, like I did in my first tarot reading, but I really believe in that, and I really wish you guys all the love and the light in the world. And namaste means my soul recognizes your soul, from my understanding, and we are all in this together, the dark and the light. And when we learn to work together as one, we will achieve great, magnificent things. All right, so on to pile 3. All right, hello pile 3. So for those of you who chose the Magician, who's also known as the Magus of Power in the Hermetic Tarot play deck, the Magician is known as, sorry, got a little indigestion going on. Sorry, guys. I'm burping a little over here. Silent burps. Not silent but deadly. It's okay. It's all good. All right. So, anyway. The Magician is somebody who has a vast amount of power, who's able to wield that magic wand to his will, right? But all power, as we should know, comes from the divine. And it's whether we use this power for good or evil, right? I'm going to read from the book what it says about this card. So, the symbol of a winged mercurial crest appears at the top of the card. The snake-like creatures that issue from beneath the crest are similar to those found in the caduceus held by the radiating figure of Mercury to the left of the card. The Magician is seen as a communicator with the gods and the storer of knowledge, which he willingly dispenses, similar to Mercury, who in mythology is the winged messenger of the gods. Thus the Magician, through his actions and exhibition of will, can bring unity between the divine, intellectual, and physical worlds. By intelligence, the idea of God is conceived, and by willpower, works of good nature are accomplished. The altar at his feet contains the symbols of the 4 suits: swords, wands, represented as a dagger, cups, and the image of a pentagram on a book. There is also a burning candle and the triangular symbol for earth. The picture of Mercury appears to radiate before him. Meanings: wisdom, skill, adaptation, originality, self-confidence. Okay. So, with that in mind, I'm going to draw the 7 cards from the playing deck that y'all pulled. You got the red joker. We're not doing reversals here. Okay. We got the 5 of clubs, 7 of diamonds, 8 of clubs, 9 of clubs, King of spades, and the Queen of spades. All right. Okay, so to start off with, I'm going to read what the cards say on them from the Gypsy interpretation. The extra joker, that is only used in the Gypsy deck to determine a yes or no answer, so that's irrelevant in this context. And then I will what's the word? I'll go further upon that with the traditional interpretation in a moment. But anyway, so 5 of clubs. The clover leaf is a bearer of good tidings, but if near clouds, it denotes great chagrin. If, however, number 2 does not lie near 29 or 28, the chagrin will be of short duration and happiness will follow. All right, so If it's near clouds, we're not near clouds. We're by fire. And a snake. Oh, look, snake again. Like the snake in this one. Interesting. My zodiac sign, or not zodiac, my Chinese sign is the snake, so. Anyway, and my destiny card is 7 diamonds, so it's pretty cool. 7 diamonds, powerful card. Alright, so basically it's a card of good tidings. Alright. Anyway, next card. Flames on the hearth indicates good fortune and neutralizes the evil of near-lying unlucky cards and increases the value of lucky ones. So, yeah, y'all are extra lucky with whatever this is the reading's going to be about. Alright. 8 of clubs. The snake indicates enmity and calamities, the degree of which is governed by the distance of the card from the person. So, this card's in the center. We get the female and the masculine, the feminine and the masculine aspects. It's in the center. So we're going to say it's neutralized, okay? And also you get 2 lucky cards next to it. So I think we're good. The park foretells a love when very near. If distant, false friends. Okay, so it's near the feminine. So if you're a female reading this, you got love near you. Alright, and then we got the King of Spades. The bride ensures for a single person the fulfillment of their highest aims when near. If distant, turbulent married life. So if you're feminine, you're going to have good married life. Masculine, maybe not. Queen of Spades. Amour is a sign that someone is looking at you with great love and longing. We got a lot of love cards going on here. Huh. Yep. Love. Love, love, love. Wow. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to go on to the traditional meanings. Yeah, I don't know. I can't really get this to be seen too well on that side. Here, we'll move these along. Okay, extra joker. Alright, so to start off with, we got the red joker, okay, which is called the butterfly card. And it represents a card of transformation. And in the book, it says, the butterfly begins its life cycle as a destructive eating machine in the form of an ugly, gluttonous caterpillar. I don't think caterpillars are ugly, so, but whatever. Maybe you have an eating problem, something like that. I know I do. Well, kind of. Anyway, no judgment. At the end of this cycle of unbridled gluttony and destruction, the caterpillar spins itself into a cocoon or chrysalis. Inside the chrysalis, the caterpillar transforms and reemerges as a beautiful butterfly. The butterfly in a reading represents renewal, transformation, beauty, freedom, a fresh start, new, popular, outgoing, social butterfly. Butterfly in a reading acts quickly to bring change, but this opportunity for change may pass quickly if not acted upon. Alright. Then we got the 5 of clubs. So, the 5 of clubs is representative of crossroads. So you have a decision to be made. Alright, you're at a crossroads. You're faced with a choice here. And tying that into the red joker, if you don't make the decision quickly, you're going to lose the opportunity. That will be embellished upon with the rest of the cards. Alright, so the seeker is faced with a decision. Clubs represent the earth elements and foundations of our lives. This decision can relate to work, home, money, childcare, any aspect of the seeker's life. Crossroads may also represent a fork in the road, a new direction, options, alternatives, multiples, a decision, a choice, an actual road or street. Okay. Then we got the Seven of Diamonds, which is the Finger of God card. And this card basically is saying that the divine, the powers that be, are very prevalent in your life, and they're present with you while you are making this decision. And so I'm going to read from the book because it's very interesting what it says. The symbol of the Seven of Diamonds is the finger of God. The finger of God refers to the painting by Michelangelo in the Sistine Chapel in Rome called The Creation of Adam, where God breathes life into Adam, the first man. The finger of God indicates a pivotal moment where God intervenes into the affairs of men. This card is named the finger of God and not the hand of God because the intervention of the divine may at first appear quite subtle. If the seeker does not add effort and align him or herself in agreement with the will of the divine, then the positive momentum created by the finger of God may be lost or counterbalanced by human effort. So this intertwines with the Five of Clubs, with this decision that you have to be made, and the Joker card, the red Joker, with you could lose this opportunity if you do not choose the right path, the path of the divine. You're basically faced with a path of good or evil. It's very black and white here, what the cards are trying to sell you, the spirits. In dice rolling games, a 7 is a winning combination and considered very lucky. 7 is also considered God's number, in the same way that 666 is the number of the Antichrist. Commonly, 777 is commonly regarded as the number of Christ. 6 deals with the finite things of the earth. 7 deals with the external things of the spirit. 7 is incidentally the most frequent possible combination with two six-sided dice and can be rolled as blah, 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 blah. Spiritually speaking, we can understand that this finger of God touching our lives is not unusual, but happens frequently and regularly. The Our Father who art in heaven prayer is the most common Christian prayer. It states, "Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, as above, so below," mirrors this concept. When the 7 of Diamonds or finger of God appears in a reading, this alerts the seeker that greater fortune smiles on them if they choose to align their will in the area indicated in the cards, falling beside the finger of God in the reading. So we got the 5 of Clubs and the 8 of Clubs. So we'll go on to the 8 of Clubs in a minute. 5 of Clubs is basically saying you have a choice before you. The crossroads, right? All right. So if the seeker aligns with God's plan, greater fortune, lucky 7, a lucky break will ensue, windfall, profit, miracle, manifestation of a desired destiny, change for the better, light on the path, manna, which is power from heaven, and the return of the Savior. Wow. Powerful stuff, magician. Okay. So let's find out what this path is directed towards with the 8 of Clubs. 8 of Clubs is called the City card. The symbol of the 8 of Clubs is a city. An excellent example of the city card is New York City. New York City is very densely packed anthill of human activity. It's a city that never sleeps. City represents the physical world populated by people, acquaintances, friends, and all 7, there we go with the 7 again, 7 degrees of separation. The city card may also appear when you post on Facebook for the whole world to enjoy your current status and photos. The city in a reading represents the workplace, a social event, a bar, social media, a gathering, a business meeting, a park, a public place, a sporting event, the opera, seminar, meeting with friends, the world, strangers, acquaintances, and any location where large groups of people meet and interact. So my interpretation of this is that God is pointing you in a direction where you need to be guiding people towards the light, towards the divine. You are worthy, or you are destined, preordained to be guiding a mass of people towards the divine, towards the light. Okay? Now, 9 of clubs is called the High Tower Club card. Alright? In this card, it basically is representing authority, big business, government, military, police, the justice system, university, education system, social institution, high-rise apartments, jail, quarantine, and office building. And this goes directly with the city card when we talk about New York City. So what I'm getting from this is that you are destined to bring justice to a sector of society that deals with large masses of people, whether that be the big business, corporations, high-rise buildings, government, military, police, justice system, university, education system, social institutions, a high-rise apartment, jails, quarantine, office buildings. You are meant to bring justice upon one of these systems. That is your destiny. That is your goal as the magician with all this power that you are capable of wielding. And if you do not follow this path, you are going to find, if you retreat from this, you're going to find yourself falling into depression. You're going to find yourself having issues where you're going to feel like you have no energy, you're depleted, you're hopeless, you're heartless. Okay? Next card, King of Spades. Okay, so the King of Spades relates directly back to the City card and the Tower card, and really the Tower card, alright? Because we talked about having authority over big business, government, military, police, the justice system, university, education, social institutions, high-rise apartment, jail, quarantine, office building. Okay? King of Spades card is called the Executioner card. When you think of the Executioner, you think of someone who has the power over life and death. They are, we think of the judge, jury, executioner, right? The symbol of the King of Spades is the executioner. The executioner wears a black hooded mask so that he may remain nameless and faceless. And this kind of goes back to the other card with, like, it's saying how with the High Tower, how, like, it can represent spiritual retreat, going, what's the word? Just retreating, right? Hiding, okay? The executioner, so whoever's inquiring for this reading, the inquirer, you may wish to be unnamed, anonymous, whatever in your powers, but you are powerful and you have the ability to to attain justice for people. And you also have the power to retract justice, to take justice away. So that's where we go back to the finger of God with the 7 of diamonds. God is watching and the divine is on your side. And you got that lucky card with the 5 of clubs, right? And the 8 of clubs is also a lucky card. Oh no, I'm sorry. 7 of diamonds is lucky. I was thinking about the gypsy meanings. Anyway, basically, if you don't follow that finger of God, you're going to come into this snake. Which I don't like people associating snakes with bad things, but, that's just a common interpretation of snakes, right? With the devil and Adam and Eve and the Garden of Eden and all that. So we'll just go with what most people perceive it as. Okay? And if you do not align with that finger of God, that divinity, that's what's going to ensue is calamity, because you have the power to promote peace, to seek justice, to promote justice in this world with these big institutions where lots of people are involved, or you have the power to the opposite of that, where bad things happen for these people. All right, so the executioner takes without asking, and no one can stop them. The executioner has the authority, justly or unjustly, to do whatever they may decide on the spot. The executioner always acts without feeling, on principle, position, and the concept that might is always right. The energy of the executioner is different than the devil card. The devil, or jack of spades, is a juvenile, and as such may harm the seeker and others out of simple malice, unrestrained emotion, or anger. The energy of the executioner is a much more mature, focused, and directed energy, and may have a much greater impact with less effort. The executioner has the power to harm or heal. The executioner in readings represents a judge, judgment, a police officer, probation officer, corrections officer, doctor, lawyer, criminal organization, mob boss, murderer, thief, prince of demons, or anyone or any organization large and powerful enough, go back to that tower card, that they cannot be resisted by the seeker alone. The executioner may also represent someone who is very depressed, very serious, or demonstrates a very dark energy. So, with that in mind, you have the power. Which way you choose to wield it is your decision. But this reading is saying that most likely you're going to transform into the butterfly. You have that opportunity to transform into the butterfly with that butterfly card. Okay? And with the 5 of clubs, the crossroads card, you have this choice to transform into the butterfly, or you're going to stay in that gluttonous, whatever it described the caterpillar as. Okay? Are you going to stay like that, or are you going to go into the butterfly? Now, Queen of Spades is the snake card, which is interesting because we have 3 snakes now. We have 8 of clubs. We got the snake right here. We got the magician with the snakes. A lot of snakes going on. So, snakes can represent wisdom. They can also represent cunning, sly. Cunning is wisdom. Usually indicative, though, or evocative of, like, manipulation. Right? So, you have the ability to manipulate. You have the ability to go either way. The dark or the light. The yin or the yang. That's your choice. God's finger, though, is in your court and is watching, and that power to transform into that butterfly, to metamorphosize, to help these masses of people seek justice, is your ability that is preordained and destined to you. Alright, so the symbol of the Queen of Spades is a snake. A snake in the wild will not usually be seen chasing an antelope across the African savanna. Rather, the snake lays in wait for its victim. The snake disguises itself as a tree branch or brush on the ground and waits for its victim to come to it. The snake is infamous for its legendary deception of the first woman, Eve, in the Garden of Eden, and the subsequent fall of humankind from God's grace. The snake is intelligent, crafty, ruthless, backstabbing, jealous, plotting, patient, vengeful, and a betrayer of trust. The snake disguises itself with the existing environment, manipulating the environment and those within it, as well as any and all means at its disposal to accomplish its hidden goals, including guilt, jealousy, extortion, other persons, events, and violence. The snake in the Bible is considered to be among the most beautiful and intelligent of God's creatures on the earth. The snake in a reading is attractive, sexy, sleek, slim, strong, athletic. The other woman, an adulterous woman, manipulative, deceptive, sends mixed signals, speaks with a forked tongue, and intentionally creates confusion. The snake may also represent Satan, Lucifer, dark magic, plumbing, a literal snake, an internal illness or disease, complications, and etc., etc. The snake in a reading may equally represent, that's irrelevant, right? So, you have the ability to you have this ability to be the seeker of justice, the executioner, right? But you can either transform into that butterfly, or you can transform into something that is seeking vengeance, that is ruthless. I mean, yeah, I don't consider ruthless to be a good thing. I guess it depends on the context, right? If someone's really being quite awful and, like, destroying people and souls and everything, like, being ruthless, the ruthless executioner, I can honestly see that as being justified. Alright, but with that being said, the whole idea of, like, you can be this criminal mastermind or you can be this heroic angel, right? Heroic mastermind or criminal mastermind. You have that ability as the magician. Now, which path are you going to choose? You're at the crossroads. Which path are you going to choose? Are you going to transform into a butterfly? Or are you going to be the snake? You got the power of God behind you. You got the divine spirit behind you. Are you going to choose to destroy? Or are you going to choose to create and heal? That is the question. Alright, so for the last part of this reading, we're going to roll the dice. It's going to determine which set of page numbers from the book War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. The ones, tenths, or hundreds. Or thousands, because it goes up into thousands. So between 1 and 4 we're looking for on the die. We got a 2. Okay. So we're doing a double-digit number, page number. So we're going to roll the dice 2 more times to determine the exact page number. We got 5 and 6. Alright, so we got 56, page 56. Alright, and I'm going to do my best to relate this to this reading. So, this starts off with a continuation of a sentence from the prior page. In Moscow, exclamation point. You are Boris, ... yes. Well, now we have got to get it clear. Tell me, what do you think of the Bouillon expedition? I have no clue what the Bouillon expedition is, but if you look that up, I'm sure that might, I could pause this and look it up myself, but I would rather you guys do it. Bouillon expedition. I'm sure it relates, because honestly, the other 2 readings, the page, oh my god, it was like, chills how it related. Alright. Things will go badly with the English, if Napoleon gets across the channel. I believe that the expedition is very possible, if only Villeneuve doesn't make a mess of it. Boris knew nothing at all about the Bouillon expedition. I think I just said that totally different. I haven't slept yet. It's like I haven't slept yet, guys. So, my brain a little fuzzy. That's okay. Don't judge me. Or you can if you want. It's okay. Apparently, you're the freaking judge, jury, and executioner. So, there you go. I'm pretty sure I am too, though. So, it's all good. All right. And it was the first time he had heard of Villeneuve. So, I guess it's going to explain what a Bouillon expedition is. Here in Moscow, we are more interested in dinner parties and scandal than in politics, he said, in his self-possessed, sarcastic tone. I know nothing and think nothing about it. Moscow's more engrossed in scandal than anything. Reminds me of, I don't know why, but it should remind me of, Gotham City, because we got, the city card, right? And we're talking about heroes, and we got the Joker, right? Heroes and villains. You have that power. All right? Moscow's more engrossed, Gotham City, in scandal than anything, he went on. Just now, they are all talking about you and about the Count. Pierre smiled his kindly smile as though afraid for his companion's sake that he might say something he would regret. But Boris spoke distinctly, clearly, and dryly, looking straight into Pierre's face. There's nothing else to do in Moscow but talk scandal, he went on. Everyone's absorbed in the question whom the Count will leave his fortune to, though perhaps he will outlive us all, and I sincerely hope he may. Yes, all that's very horrid, Pierre interposed. Very hard. Pierre was still afraid this officer would inadvertently drop into some remark disconcerting for himself. And it must seem to you, said Boris, flushing slightly, but not changing his voice or attitude. It must seem to you that everyone's thinking of nothing but getting something from him. That's just it, thought Pierre. And that's just what I want to say to you, to prevent misunderstanding, that you are very much mistaken if you reckon me and my mother among those people. We are very poor, but at least I, speak for myself. Just because your father is rich, I don't consider myself a relation of his, and neither I nor my mother would ever ask him for anything or take anything from him. It was a long while before Pierre understood, but when he did understand, he jumped up from the sofa, seized Boris's hand with his characteristic quickness and awkwardness, and blushing far more than Boris, began speaking with a mixed sensation of shame and annoyance. Well, this is strange. Do you suppose How you could think? I know very well. But Boris again interrupted him. Okay. So, the part that speaks out to me the most is, we are very poor. But at least I speak for myself. Just because your father is rich, I don't consider myself a relation of his. And neither I nor my mother would ever ask him for anything or take anything from him. So, to me, that is saying, in relation to this reading, how, speaking of father, right? Talking about the divine, the finger of God. Taking from God that which does not belong to you, which is what belongs to God. What belongs to the divine is the glory and the riches of this world, the beautiful, the Garden of Eden in its splendor and holiness, right? Taking from that is what is going to end up causing this confusion, causing this disruption. Okay? Yes, all that's very horrid, Pierre interposed. Very horrid. And he was afraid this officer would inadvertently drop into some remark disconcerting for himself. He's afraid of judgment. He's afraid of being judged by this person in a position of power. Okay? And the magician is this person. You are this person of power. You are the executioner. You're the judge, the jury, and the executioner. Own that power. Be that finger of God. Transform into that butterfly. And don't freaking be that snake in the garden that whispers to Eve and screws everything up. Be the freaking Cupid that beats that heart. That freaking beats that heart. Pierces that heart. And king and the queen are together. The masculine and the feminine together. They see each other through that crack. They're together. They have the answer to each other's freedom. That key unlocks the lock that's causing the sadness. He is the answer to her sadness, right? You have the answer to so many people's sadness and dismay and heartache, just the calamity that's just causing, that's just disrupting so many people's lives. You have the key to unlock their sadness, to save them from drowning in their tears. You have that passion in your court, the passion flower. You don't have to be giving that middle finger, man. I don't know if you can see that. The heartbreak. You don't have to be given that. Okay? I mean, you could be the crime mafia boss, or you could be like Archangel Michael all up in there. It's your choice. You have that power. But you have to make that decision quick. And God is in your court and in your favor to help you seek that justice for the people, for the masses. Okay? So that's all I have for you, pile 3. And I hope you enjoyed this reading. And as I stated in the other 2 piles, love and light to you all, and namaste. And I know a lot of people out there in the spiritual community, or just people in general, hate on that whole love and light, namaste. But like, I really mean it. And I wish you all the love and light in this world. And more people need to wish that upon others. More people need to seek that metamorphosis into that butterfly, to be at one with that finger of God. Realize that they have that. And you guys, you are that magus of power. Look at that. That's you guys. You have that power. Okay? And you could be in front of and beyond the snakes, the slithering snakes that are whispering the evil into Eve and preventing Cupid from piercing the heart, and Adam and Eve finding true love together, whatever, and the rest of the world healing. You can either be the love and the light and realize what namaste really means, which is I am you. My soul recognizes your soul. I am you. Bringing that light and darkness together and healing it. Unity, oneness, true love. That is what you are capable of. All right, guys. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or night whenever you're watching this. And I hope you join me for my next reading. Toodaloo.